Great. All right. Thank you for joining us for this session of the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. The K-12 BITS is a new training initiative to help augment your internal training efforts. Harnessing our community of K-12 Blackboard schools, BITS will share top strategies and pedagogy for both increasing teacher efficiency and improving learning outcomes. K-12 BITS is free and easy to participate, and it's available for teachers, academic leaders, and administrators. My name is Katie Gallagher, and I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Blackboard's K-12 Teaching and Learning Solutions, and I'll serve as the moderator for the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. I'm always open to new ideas for topics for the series, so please let me know if you're interested in presenting for a future session. Just email me at katie.gallagher@blackboard.com. Thank you to Misty Cobb, a Blackboard product expert, and Colleen Smith from our K-12 marketing team, who will be joining today to help answer questions in the chat. We'll be joining you for the Innovative Teaching Series this spring. Each webinar in this series will be recorded, so you can search for the Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series playlist on the Blackboard YouTube channel, or the K-12 playlist, which is listed on this slide. You'll be receiving a recording from today's presentation and the slides in PDF form after the webinar by email in 2 or 3 days. You'll also be receiving an invitation to participate in an online professional learning community hosted within course sites. This online PLC is designed to augment the series and create an avenue for ongoing collaboration and dialogue amongst participants within this series. So please be sure to accept that invitation and participate in the new online PLC. All K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series webinars are free and open to all, so please be sure to look for the K-12 icon to identify these special sessions. You're certainly welcome to attend any session within any of the 4 BITS tracks. Our next K-12 session will be on Monday, May 5th, Instructional Focus Guides, Curriculum, Pacing, and Resources Support. And we'll focus on how Sarasota County Public Schools is moving to Common Core state standards with Blackboard. It will start at 3:30 Eastern Time and will be led by Brad Porchunk from Sarasota County Public Schools. Actually, what am I thinking? The very next session is next Monday, April 28th, and it will be hosted by Idaho Digital Learning Academy by Jeff Simmons and Lisa Berry. But we're also very excited for Sarasota's presentation in 2 weeks. So lots of good sessions to come, and we will probably be adding even more to the schedule this spring, but very excited about all the upcoming sessions. Today we're excited to have Ruth Paine and Linda Shriver from the School District of Clay County leading us in being a trailblazer in the digital age. Think of all the great trailblazers throughout history. All have produced amazing results despite impossible odds. Some might say educators are up against difficult times and feel their attempts at progress are fruitless. Join educators willing to share innovative technology to help you know your students, personalize their paths, and adjust their course when needed. You too can become a trailblazer and mark your path through uncharted territory. Ruth Paine has earned her Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education for grades 1 through 6 and was a classroom teacher for over 19 years in the School District of Clay County, Florida. After becoming a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, she worked as a network specialist for various junior high schools in Clay. Since 2007, Ruth has served as a distance learning specialist for the district. After earning her Master of Arts in Instructional Design and Technology, eLearning, she's been working with Clay Virtual Academy, the district's public virtual school. Linda Shriver, also a distance learning specialist for the School District of Clay County, wears the title of Geek Girl with Pride. She is often found energetically sharing the latest app or talking up the latest gadget she's found. During her 20-plus years in the field of education, she has served as a teacher, mentor to other teachers, learning specialist for Clay County's 41st school, Clay Virtual Academy, and is currently a specialist at the county level. So welcome to Ruth and Linda today. We're so happy to have you. So let's pass the controls over to Linda.
Hello, how are you guys doing today? I'm very excited to have the group that we have. Let me just real quickly in the chat make sure we're going to be actively participating today, or as much as we can. I'm really exciting and motivating, but I can only go so far, so I'm going to need your help. In the chat box on the very bottom right, look, go ahead and let me know where you're from. Just give me your state. If it's somewhere exciting, you can give me your state and your city. Just real quick, jot down something there.
I would just add, be sure that send to all participants is selected. Great. Right now, several folks are doing all panelists, so be sure to do all participants so everyone can see if you have that option. And
I see lots of cool things. I see Ohio. That's far away. We're in Florida. So good old Sarasota is kind of right around the corner from us. And Arlington Public Schools, I'm extremely jealous of y'all. And we'll talk later about it. I always am hearing exciting things from your neck of the woods as far as Blackboard. So I'm glad you're here. We can connect. Well, any more? I know there's lots of you guys, or maybe you're sitting in groups. Good. I'm glad that we've got a very diverse, landscape of where we're all from. And we could probably discuss weather for a while, although I probably have you guys beat. It's been rainy, but it's real pretty here right now. So here's what we're going to do. These little kiddos you see on the screen right here, they're the reason why we do what we do, all ages, kindergarten through 12th grade. They're the reason why we do all. They are already on the trail. They are very far down the trail. If you've ever walked with students, with kids, period, you know that they have a pace unlike no other, even though they're short strides. They can pick it up and move, and they have gone without us. So we need to, as educators and educator leaders, get on that trail and kind of get moving. So this is the reason for this presentation, kind of the ultimate thing. I'm going to tell you now, with the presentations I do, I will not leave you bored, hopefully, and without things that are practical and real world. I don't want to waste your time. I've sat in enough presentations where it hasn't, been the greatest in the world. So I always say, if I'm bringing you here, I'm not going to waste your time. So hopefully in the hour that we have together, you're going to get and go. And that's the second part I hope I give you guys, is that kind of spirit to go, to move with some of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you now, the stuff we present here, if you've heard it, it's not going to work for you, that's fine, but I get some of my best ideas by just sitting and listening and kind of soaking it in. I keep a little pad next to me whenever I'm in presentations, and if something spurs my thinking off into another direction, all power to you guys. So you go for it. If something that we say today triggers you and makes you work towards, into another direction, I'm all for that. So here is a picture of sweet Ruth Paine on the left and Linda Shriver on the right. And Ruth and I were planning this presentation, and we got to talking, and we already knew that we were both Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and had been on that trail, blazed that trail for young girls at an early age. We had no clue we had these pictures, so we both dug them up. We got excited. We exchanged emails, sent them an email to each other, and we opened them up and said, oh, my word, do they not look so much alike? So we've had fun with that. Let me real quickly get, how many of you all have been a Boy Scout, a Girl Scout, or any kind of scouting or camping as a young kiddo? Give me a check mark. Ooh, Colleen's been maybe a Girl Scout. And Katie, give me a quick check mark, or write it down either way. Brownie, good. Any Boy Scouts in the group? Looks like just my girls. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not only a Girl Scout, I was a Girl Scout for a long time. I'm also a leader. and absolutely love the scouting profession. I'm raising up a son now who is steps away from his Eagle Scout, so it's exciting. And, you know, it's funny because you look at those people in the past and in history, and like Julius Gordon-Low, excuse me, hold on, who's the other guy? My son would kill me. What's the Boy Scout guy's name? Somebody put it down in the chat if you think of it. Oh, what is he? Lord Baden-Powell. Oh, I got it before y'all did. Lord Baden-Powell. He certainly gave, you know, he and Juliet Lowe were close and connected, and it's people like that I see as trailblazers, and many, many others in the field of education and keeping children active and busy and their minds going. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. That was a commercial for Girl Scouting and Boy Scouting. This whole presentation is kind of divided up into 3 areas. The first is we believe that if you're going down this trail, if you're becoming a trailblazer, you need to know those kiddos. You need to find what their button is to push, and I mean in a positive way. What will engage them, what will be meaningful to them, and good luck in this day and age of MTV and all kinds of, oh gosh, maybe I should come into the 21st century and not just say MTV, but say Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter, and where everything is instant and quick. Competing with that, you know, good luck. But we said those kiddos are probably a little further down the trail than we are, but that's okay as long as we're on the trail. And so it's engaging them to stop for a second and look around them, take a look at their surroundings by whatever means it takes. And so that's a big part of what we're going to do today. The second part is a good old Boy Scout motto, be prepared. So know who you're traveling with. Be prepared to make sure you can make these innovative moves. If you've got a group of kiddos that are a little bit more unique or different or faster or slower in certain areas, but being innovative to realize those kiddos are, you know, going to take something different. So that's the next area that we're going to work through. And the third and final is, and this sounds strange because part of me is the type of person that, you know what, even though the trail goes one way, if I see a really cool little waterfall or bird or whatever, I'm going to want to veer off and just go for it and take a look. But in education, I can't believe I'm saying this because I am a very creative soul, but in education, it's important that we stay focused, because sometimes with people like me or issues like me, and Ruth will tell you, she grounds me, where I'm off, you know, in all kinds of crazy directions because I find out the latest thing on YouTube is this really cool thing to do. I'm off doing that. Oftentimes, it's very, very important that we stay on the trail, stay focused and on the trail for those kiddos. So I see that good old Arlington has lost audio. I'm going to kind of keep going, but I want to make sure somebody attends to them. So the third and final thing we're going to talk through is staying on that trail, staying focused, no matter what comes along, staying there. So I'm going to tell you, we're going live with this, guys. We are going to hit that trail. It will be strenuous, and hopefully all will work. But please, please, please hang with me through this, because we are definitely going to go live with this. I wanted to show you inside our actual class. So in just a bit, we'll come back to this slide. This is not Ruth and I can tell you that now, but I wish it was, and oftentimes. But we'll come back to this in the very end and get an idea of, let me go ahead and get us into sharing my desktop. And hopefully you guys will see it. Just give me a, little comment down the bottom if you cannot see the my desktop, but hopefully you guys can see my desktop. We are going to start inside our Clay County, and Clay County is in Florida. We're going to start inside our Blackboard site. Let me turn the edit mode off so you're seeing it. And here's the cool thing. I never do presentations without giving you stuff. So you're going to see some really cool stuff, and then you're also going to get it. So you're going to get the username and password to this site. Steal it, use it, reuse it, give it to other people. I don't care. I promise you, this is what it's all about, is that whole piece of sharing. We put this together in this format. You might want to go off in another direction. So let me go ahead with the course itself and go to the welcome site. And this is obviously the picture you've seen before. But let me explain how we've set up this course and realize that we will be doing professional development with our teachers using this course. So that's an idea to springboard from. Not only for the administrators, there's some amazing teacher tools in here, but there's also for just parents. There's some wonderful things in here for parents. So don't feel like we've left off any population of people. And you guys can use it and put your own, spin to it if you want to. So I always love to quote good old Robert Frost. It's one of my favorite ones. Essentially go where there's no path and leave that trail for others to follow, and that's what we're really talking about. Honest to goodness, the kids have already kind of gone down that for us, and they're the true trailblazers. Maybe I'm mentioning that enough, but I think most of us would probably agree with that. So let me go scroll down here a little bit more on the welcome page. You're going to see these trail markers, and the trail markers are throughout this entire course, and I also ask that you help me out during this time. If you can think of any trail markers that we've left off, and let me tell you what we see as trail markers, whenever we put or use something inside this course, we'll always put a trail marker so that you can say, like this banner up here, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how she did that artwork. I wonder where that came from. Most of us have used or have heard of Wordle, but if not, we have set a trail marker down here inside the course. So you can, and the cool thing about this trail marker is it not only tells you what Wordle is, it links to it, but it also offers you several, I think 10 ways that different people, in this particular one I got from this lady called the Clever Sheep. She's amazing, and she's done Wordle a lot with her students. So these are all different types of Wordle, from kindergarten with the Dr. Seuss stuff to up into high school with the Shakespearean stuff. So there's some really unique ways to use Wordle. So whenever you see a trail marker, that's just kind of keeping you on the trail, but showing you along the way. This is where we, we're going with it. So let me move. You've already seen your trail guide, but this is a section where you could, if you're using this course, place your own pictures. But I went ahead and put those silly pictures of Ruth and I in here, just because we're actually presenting this to our teachers and administrators as well. So I told you the 3 separate areas. Know your travelers, be prepared, and stay on trail. And then we'll close with 2 roads diverge. And we'll go ahead and start with know your travelers. So I used to teach actually kindergarten through 12th grade, but the majority of my kiddos were all 6th through 12th grade. Those kiddos were unique in that already they kind of come with a set of baggage. Hormones had set in, and I was working with special needs kiddos. So my background is, hey, here comes this kiddo. I got to get to know everything I can about him so that I can help him make that next step or several steps. And so it was automatic to me to know the people that are in my classroom, through IEP, through all kinds of different tools and techniques. But some teachers don't necessarily get that baggage or understand how important that is. So this section we put in here. Engaging is really important. We've been using a lot of Kagan strategies. I can tell you that now it's really, really helped. Kind of putting the learning back on that kiddo, workshop model stuff. So there's some really exciting stuff. As far as technology, you know that inside Blackboard Collaborate, if you all are Blackboard users, you have the ability to poll the group of people. But I also love to do Poll Everywhere, which is a trail marker that tells a little bit more about Poll Everywhere. PollEverywhere.com is a phenomenal site. If we've got leaders or admin in the group here, it's a wonderful site to use at a faculty meeting. People pull out their cell phones and you can ask them a question. You can get instant feedback, and everybody else can kind of see. It's a wonderful thing to use at a parent night. So there's some exciting things and interesting things here for Poll Everywhere. Again, just getting an idea of where your class is, and I use Poll Everywhere in my classroom with my students. Now, that goes into another issue, and that is, their devices. But Many can bring them to school but keep them hidden. Some we're certainly encouraging to bring and let's pull it out. The devices are here, but it's, every school is a little different. So use this at, with your school or your county's permission, however they go on that. So, but that's one option. The other way to get to know your kiddos is blogging, and using blogging with the littlest of kids. Now, this is what I love to share. We have, Ruth has been working quite a bit with Clay Virtual Academy this year and our kindergarten and first grade teacher. You would think with a virtual academy that there aren't a whole lot of, it would be very difficult for a little kindergartner or first grader to kind of keep up, certainly with the reading, the tremendous amount of reading that often comes in virtual school. But she has done, our kindergarten and first grade teacher, a bit of blogging of sorts with her little one. She's used some really unique resources, and so we've put some, if you click on here, we've put a bunch of different resources, different tools that people have used in our county and other ones we found. They're free, and we tell you, free with a log on, or, and again, guys, remember that. These are really cool if you've got some time. Go through these. This is a student blog where a student has come in and kept up his blog. This is a class blog where little ones work as a class, and there's an editor each week. Really unique little situation. And then there's an admin. Now, this guy has won some awards in blogging for his admin blog. So that these are always really interesting and different to see a principal's perspective on it all. But if you can imagine as a teacher or as a parent in his school, it's pretty cool to click on the computer and be able to see his views or his thoughts. So those are some really exciting things. I wanted to tell you really quickly about a little fellow who I worked with. His name was Al. He was severely autistic. He had very, very poor written communication skills, along with the whole verbal issues that he had. He struggled even just writing his name, the basics of his name. The class as a whole, this was a special ed class, were all given class iPads. The teacher actually introduced this concept of blogging. She got all excited. The kids got all excited. Well, good old Al, she had pulled Al away and had him looking and working with the aide at that time on, written communication, paper and pencil. But he heard everything, because that was Al. He had amazing listening skills. He comprehended. He got it. He connected. He heard when the teacher was actually explaining to the kiddos how to do this. So one afternoon, Al was given a little bit of free time. He got that iPad in his hand, and he actually followed directly what that teacher said about blogging, and he, at this point, created a blog, very first blog entry, and the teacher walked over and thought he was on to his flashcard program and realized that he had gone in and was with the other kiddos and doing blogging as well. His very first blog entry, September 20th, was complete sentence, I am writing joyfully, period, capitalized letter. That is what the sweet child wrote. Now, come on, guys. He proudly turned to his teacher and he said, hey, essentially, look, or whatever, held it up and showed it to her, and she was just shocked. By the end of the year, he was publishing his own blog. He had his own iPad. It was amazing. He has created a blog, and I don't know, honestly, that he still has this blog. He's grown up and not doing it as much anymore, but he had a blog called All About Al, and it was pretty amazing. So he had matured, and it was very heartwarming and loving. So All About Al was a little fellow that was in our county at one point with blogging. So this is for you to kind of play through and look at in the blogging section. So let's go back to Know Your Travelers, because certainly blogging is one way to know. We talk about Poll Everywhere. And then e-portfolios, I'm going to turn over to Ruth for her to talk a little bit more about it, and I'll still do the driving route. Go ahead.
Okay, so Linda, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. And guys, This is the best partner in the whole wide world. Ruth and I have been working together for several years. She hates it when I talk about her, but she does keep me grounded because I'm kind of a little bit out there. So a huge thank you and introduction to Ruth Paine.
Well, thank you, Linda. That was very sweet. I do appreciate it, and I do love working with you as well and look forward to continued work in the future. We're looking at the e-portfolios, and I will give you a story as well about how I've used e-portfolios. I've taught for several years in the classroom, and then I was an elementary teacher for many years, and then I went to the junior high level, and as I was a network specialist there, I actually taught a group of students that did the television production. It was the media production. And what was interesting for us at the time, we were using the network because that was what I'd just been trained in, and we were using our network to create our own little e-portfolios. And so it was great when we had the parents come in one night at the end of the school year to share and show the parents what the students have been doing throughout the year, because that's kind of it's a closed circuit television program, if you're familiar with that, and the parents aren't there to see it, and it was several years ago. So I was thinking, wow, how far we've come with e-portfolios, and the fact that now we can have them on the internet. The students wouldn't have to share on one night where their parents, they would have to be invited, and maybe a parent could be there. What's nice now is, like with Blackboard, the e-portfolios, if you'll go into that folder for me, Linda, this is accessible online. The students have their own usernames and passwords, and I was thinking this would be phenomenal for the parent to know throughout. Go ahead and click on that next link, if you would, Linda. For the parents to know throughout the year and to see the growth. That's the main thing with these e-portfolios. It's collaboration, it is getting peer feedback, instructor feedback. Will that open up?
There we go.
There we go, okay. And so this is something that in our district we have the content collection, and it's very easy. The students would be able to create their own portfolios, and they could have a portfolio for different classes that they're in. If they were in, like in the 7th grade language arts class and they were doing writing, as in this instance, we have Sally's student and they're working on persuasive essays. And so it's something for them to be able to use to show off and also to collaborate with their peers and get feedback, and you can set them up for commenting. So this is just where e-portfolios have really gone in the last just five years, in that now we have it accessible online from home, any place that has an internet accessible computer or connection. So I think it's wonderful. It can be used for students, it can be used for teachers, it can be used for administrators. So I think e-portfolios are definitely something that if you have the opportunity to use them, please start using them. And it's something for the students to have throughout their academic history. And I know that they're getting to the point of where you can actually share these Blackboard e-portfolios with people outside of the system. So it has really come a long way. But that's the e-portfolios, and helping you get to know your students and helping the students get to know one another. And I believe that's the part I wanted to bring up the most, Linda.
Hey, Ruth.
Yes.
This is Gallagher again. I didn't plan to interject at this point because I didn't know you were going to talk about ePortfolio, but really quickly before you navigate back, this is so timely. The next Blackboard Learn release, which is scheduled even for later this month, includes a major update to the portfolio tool. So
cool.
Enhancements include just simply greatly improved usability, much easier to build your portfolios, and new templates to improve the look and feel and design. And then I love your feedback, because the biggest enhancement comes from integration with the Learn class experience. So the ability to, create a portfolio assignment. So students have to build and submit a portfolio as a form of assessment, or importing certified artifacts from a Learn course, such as a graded assignment from a teacher, as an artifact to incorporate in portfolios. So those are just a couple of highlights from the update, but expect a major update to the ePortfolio tool in this next release coming very soon.
That's exciting. I'm very pleased to hear that. That is huge. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's cool. I'm all about that, and we've talked about that forever and ever. When we were first turned on to the tool itself, we were crazy with it. But yeah, now that it's bigger and better and all that good stuff. So thank you, Katie. Yeah, guys, seriously, feel free if you know some exciting news or want to share with us, go for it. I did see that Misty, and I love this. Thank you, Misty. I'm going to go try that now. The Polls by Blackboard is another free and really cool polling tool, and she actually has a web address, polls.bb/about. She puts that in the chat, so go to that if you want to look through that. That's neat. Thank you, guys. This is what it's all about. So we're going to kind of hop back real quick to knowing your travelers. I think we kind of covered that piece, but I want to make sure that you all understand there's so many things out there. The last little piece, or a couple pieces I want to talk about in knowing, is the journaling piece. And I think probably most of us have used that inside Blackboard, but actively, whether it's a written journal with paper and pencil, or it is a virtual journal that they're keeping up, having the kids think and write and reflect on their thinking. We're doing a lot in our county, using Blackboard as that holding tank for everything, but doing real world writing workshop type models so that the kiddos are up and writing and expressing. They're doing the thinking, the writing, they're doing the exploring. They're the ones that are getting all of it from there. So that's exciting. Also, social media. Now, there's not a whole lot in here, and when it does get built out even more, honest to goodness, it's going to be for our county. So I just ask that you, like, we're going to put our Facebook policy in here, Twitter, things like that. But use what we've got here, and please send me if you've got some more. I'll show you my email address at the end, but if you've got some more that you can work inside these. So that's how social media is huge. I could go on all day. That's pretty much a class on its own. But so let's move on to the second section, or we'll never get through this trail. Be prepared, and that is just what is so huge and important when you're standing in front of a group of adults teaching teachers, or you're standing in a group of kiddos, or you've got your own class there. So being prepared is huge. I'm not going to show this to you. It is 8 minutes, but please, 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 if you want some motivation on being innovative, if you've not seen this, this was on ABC Nightline. We've got it here inside the course, linked from the Blackboard site. It is of a company called IDEO. It's pretty darn amazing how they take a shopping cart and they find out how, anybody seen it? Let me get a quick hand raise if you've seen, or check, excuse me. Either way, you're more comfortable. If you've seen the IDEO shopping cart video. Oh my, it is amazing. So go see it. It'll get you going and get you pretty excited about being innovative in the classroom. It is a business, but they did some amazing things with it. So that's in there for you. We start our presentations, we start our trainings with this video because it kind of gives a vision of where we're heading. Again, another trail marker here. We often use this app called ABC Notes to make students kind of think, I wonder if this happens, what would happen? Or I wonder if this is a great strategy. We use sticky notes, but we also use sticky notes in this particular app. So whichever one you're most used to doing, it's great. Trail marker there for you. Powtoon, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. This is another trail marker I put in here. We have a Powtoon. I'll show it to you down here, and I'm hoping that you guys can see it. So we're really going to test to make sure there is a video that we created, a very short little video inside Powtoon, this website. But we're going to take you straight to, I think it's shared from YouTube. So let's just see what we get. Let me know if you can hear this when it comes up.
There is nothing more exciting than taking off on the open road with a full tank of gas and no real destination. However, in the field of education, we need a roadmap to guide us along the way. The goal of this video is to provide the employees, parents, and students at Clay County Schools with an essential roadmap for digital readiness. The state of Florida recognizes the need to transition its teachers and students to the digital age. The Clay County School District is committed to removing the roadblocks and providing the much-needed digital learning tools to get the job done. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Our trip begins with a stop at the welcome center.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because it is sluggish when you do it the way we do it, I'm going to paste it here. Don't you dare go off and watch it, even though it's pretty darn amazing, and leave me here. But good, thank you. And I'm going to tell you, gosh, we've gotten people excited. This is neat. In the spirit of sharing, share all you want to. I love this stuff. Yeah, shared in ISTE, 2013 presentation called 101 Tech Tools. Well, then you covered it, sister. That's great. So thank you for that, and I'm going to go back and find that when this is over with, that link. So that was done. Even if you couldn't hear it, it's important just to kind of see it. It was done on a Powtoon, this website here. But it's goofy, it's fun, it's really easy to do, and it gives that kind of animated look. So go play in that. But this also talks about the digital content. We could talk about being prepared and hitting that trail. You definitely have to have that digital content, and these are 3 school districts that we believe, are on cutting edge and doing some unique things. I'd love to hear from others. If you want to take the time right now and type away your county or any other counties you've heard amazing things come out of. These are just ones that we've worked with or done some things. While you're doing that, typing away, I'm going to go ahead into the folder that says digital content. I think most of you guys can see the learning.com logo there. Ruth, I'm going to have you speak a little bit about our relationship with learning.com, and then I'll kind of show you how it all works. So now we're talking about kind of being prepared and being prepared for the digital age, also with digital content. So, Ruth?
Yes, with learning.com, we are able to provide a single sign-on for our students, especially when I'm talking about the students here at our Clay Virtual Academy. They are virtual students, and so they rarely get to come in to see their teachers, and they have so many wonderful digital resources to share, the teachers do, with these students. And so we have this collaboration with learning.com, and it's wonderful that they work with a lot of the vendors from whom we purchase content. One of the first vendors to get on board, and we've been using them very effectively for over a year, is Discovery Education. That's what we use for our streaming videos and different media clips and those types of digital resources. And so we have really been happy that we can do one, authentication with those students with that resource through Blackboard, and the learning.com building block is what we do. And the students don't see it. The teacher sets it up, and once they're authenticated the first time, the teacher can continue to add more and more of the Discovery Education resources and links and not have to do an authentication. So it's very simple, and that's our main goal. We want to be able to make it fluid so the students don't realize they're really in the Discovery Education website and not still in their online course. And we're branching this now and moving out and spreading this to the entire district. And Linda has been working with that, but that's just one of the vendors that we've been working with. We've also been working with some of our publishers for the textbook content that we have adopted for our district. You know that many of them have phenomenal digital resources that are used. They have to supplement and strengthen what they have in the classroom. So now we're opening this up to thousands of students. And Linda, you can show them, but It's a phenomenal tool.
So for those of you that know Blackboard, the way eLearning.com and Blackboard they work very well together. They have this handshake agreement. Learning.com, I'm not even kidding you, they are amazing to work for. We have thrown ideas at them, and they just run with it. And when they call us back and say, we've got a vendor, we've got one of your textbook company, or we've got, your little tumble books, or, we've got them set up, and we've got, they just work with, they do all the hard work. We just sit and do this. So I am a teacher, let's pretend, and I'm building a course, whether it's virtual or blended or face-to-face. This is my little, my artist pad. So I'm going to create, just like you see here, I'm going to go in and actually create, build content, and I'm going to go to build content, and because we have this handshake agreement, I'm going to look down here and see learning.com assignments. And it's going to click on that, and it's going to open it up in a new tab. And it takes a while. There we go. And so now it's taking me to learning.com. So now I can go in, and I know I have, because Clay County has, in fact, I'll take you to our library. Clay County has their own Clay County. Go ahead.
Linda, we're a tad behind. I'm behind you. So we're just now opening up. So now you're getting there inside of the building block.
Thank you.
There you go.
I also kind of talk fast. I don't know if any of you all have noticed that or not. I have issues with that. So, so yeah, here is inside learning.com, and you see all the different things we have the ability to put into this classroom. Well, I'm going to go into our Clay County path because I know for sure that Clay County has these particular tools available to them, and a single sign-on piece. So I'm going to go, you see all these that we've got. Lynda.com is a fun one, an amazing one to teach and share both our teachers and our students. Tumblebook, I can view it. BrainPop, I can view it, but I can also, of course this is going on the slide, so it might, I can also then assign it. So do you see the assign button over here? So I can assign BrainPop, and I'll go ahead and do that in this class so we can see the end result. And I'm going to go up to my tab, which is learning.com, and I'm just going to go on over to where we have Blackboard Learn open. And you see this is where we were before when we were building content. And now what I'm going to do, yes, thank you. Now what I'm going to do over in Blackboard is, and it's there, it just has to be refreshed essentially. So the way I do it, and everybody's a little different, is I follow my little breadcrumbs back to kind of give it a different, to kind of give it that time to refresh. I come back into digital content where I was building it, and we know it comes up at the very bottom of everything, and here it sits. So as a student, I can click on this, and I can go to, now, I can go to the entire BrainPop library, or I can actually go to, if the teacher's just said, I just want them to see this one video, or I just want them to see and not have to log in twice. So that option is there. I'll show you a good example of that. Is I put two in here, one that is showing a snowflake primer under NSDL, and they would click there and the kiddos would go straight to that site. So I'm getting a lot open, but I'm going to go ahead. Here's another one, the Wonders of Winter, and this is Weather Smart. The teacher can actually put whatever description she needs to here, and then the kiddo, it might say something like, view this video, and then below you will see the questions for discussion, or go into the discussion board. So let's click on it and see what the kiddo would see. You'll see this little blinky thing, that black loading sky SSO. It's now doing this handshake, connecting the student with their particular video that the teacher wants them to see, and this is in Discovery. No login, nothing. It's this beautiful handshake. So we've been, let me tell you, when you have your little kiddos, kindergarten through 12th grade, going in virtually to all these different, textbooks and sites and amazing digital content, but to have them put their username and password, it's always different for everything, for them to have to go through all of that, remember it on a sheet of paper, it's just crazy. So we've really developed a unique relationship with Learn.com. We love them to no end. I'm going to close some of this up. We love them. And go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say this is amazing and awesome, and we love the learning.com building blocks. There was a question in the chat, and I wanted to be sure to address it. The question is learning.com a free building block if you have Blackboard? And so I would answer that. The learning.com building block is not a free building block, as many building blocks are. There is a fee associated with that building block. Learning.com invested a lot to build that handshake between Blackboard and Learning.com, but your account executive can help you with pricing for that. And I would ask Ruth and Linda, I don't want to totally interrupt your presentation, but at a point where it makes sense, could you address your investment in Learning.com? Because this is a building block available to any Blackboard Learn customer, but there is a fee associated with it.
There is, and it changes. You know, I got to say it's nominal and it's worth it. But I can more, you know, better address the cost later. Just we're right in the middle of back and forth negotiations for next year, but I'm just telling you, worth every bit of everything. So just because you see what it does. And
that is perfect. That is exactly what I was looking for, because each school can work with their account representative for their pricing. So thank you. I just wanted to make sure that the participants didn't misunderstand about whether, you know, being free versus paid building blocks. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, Katie, that's what this is about. Please do. I love that. And Misty, keep on coming. She's sending all kinds of things through. So y'all really pay attention to that chat board, although pay attention to me too, because I'm kind of exciting this. But please, that's what this is all about, share. But so Learn.com is there for you. We put that under digital content. You can't go do what we, if you have this, you know, you have to be logged in, but as one of us to have that right. But at least you know it's here, and you can go play with the ones that I've put in here. These two, and then I'll even keep that other one in there for you too. And then we've also put in other resources, and again, these are all resources that are single sign-on, or we're in the middle of working with them to do that. And when I say we're in the middle of it, we just hand it all over to them, and they very much handle all that good stuff, and they do it very quick. The Khan Academy is all the free stuff, so any of those that are free, they automatically set that up for you. So it's pretty neat, pretty good relationship. And I'll be quiet because I'm not making any money from Blackboard or Learning.com to talk about them. But when they're good, damn it, they're good, and you got to tell the world about it. So I'm really excited about the relationship we built with them. So, okay, so we'll go back under digital content. We kind of covered, and I'm sure that there's so much more in there. Every state has its different laws as well. We're very close to 2015, where we have to have much more digital content than what we have. So, so I mentioned the digital content piece and the tech tools. And these tech tools, according to good old, let me go back to it, good old Missy, she gave me some really neat links in there I really want to go and look up. So, and under simplyk12.com, ebooks, and 101 free tech tools. So there's some cool stuff there. And it probably puts what we've got here to shame, but we did put those there. Under our tech tools, these are just different tools, and we divided them up into, depending on what you're looking for, because we're teaching our teachers this stuff. We've got teachers that might need presentation tools, teachers because they're virtual and want to do something a little bit more unique, not necessarily all for our virtual school at all, because the blended piece and the face-to-face piece is huge, and it's getting more and more digital, putting a face out there. In fact, I'll throw this in really quickly. I'm creating a presentation for this summer for our teachers on creating a digital presence out there for them, because it's almost like they have to market themselves, and I know that sounds just crazy, but so that the kiddos, when they know they're going to have Mrs. Shriver in the fall, they know that Mrs. Shriver, you know, enjoys this, enjoys that, that's this. It's personal what you want to get or not, but shows the kind of teacher they're getting. It's almost like this marketing piece. So as crazy as that sounds, it's a really neat little program that I'm putting together to kind of show teachers how to have a web presence. And using avatars and presentations are a big part of it. Screen capture tools. And under each of these, we have some tons of tools. But Discovery has its own piece that could go on forever. And any gadgets, I got to be honest, I'm loving my gadgets. I'm all about that. Anything technology that I can, put my hands on and try, I'll do. I'm now just about to invest in the Go cameras, the little ones that you don't ask me why, because I'm a little bit sedentary, but I just think how cool would that be when I go into school and teach and work with teachers and see different neat things, just to put a Go cam on. Okay, that's where I cross the line from total geek to extreme, or from extreme geek to total absolute lost my mind. And then teacher resources. So I'm going to quickly click on through these to kind of show you. We're getting very close to the end of our time, and I have totally, but the different presentation tools that we have in here, SlideShare, Prezi, One-True Media, and then Animoto. Most of these you guys know, but they're set up like this. I present. They're set up, each of these little sessions are set up underneath Tech Tools. So, and I'll go to Gadgets just because that's my favorite one. And there'll be more added as they come. If you've not heard of the LiveScribe pen, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And so I put in little, so with each tool I share, I put in real-world applications for that tool. So, and there's more. I'm not going to even anywhere get near that because I could go on forever. So let me move on through. So are you getting the fact that being prepared, knowing your travel, being prepared, being innovative and unique and ready to kind of go on the fly? Let me turn this edit mode off. It's super important, and we're going to say the last one. This is the one I probably need to focus on more than anything else, and that is empowering myself to actually stay on the trail. I'm telling you now, I've struggled with that piece. So definitely there's some unique resources here, and these are not your traditional resources. These are unique ones where I say when I power down at night, or I say power down. When I've got my iPad, I don't have my computer in front of me. These are where I go to kind of get refueled. And there's some amazing resources. And I swear, I know I have not scratched the surface on this. If you've got more, I would love to hear from you. And I'll go ahead and leave you with my email address and Ruth's email address so you can get the idea. We really do want to build this out. And then I always I'm the inspirational geek around here. I always like to keep inspirational videos. Whenever I find them, I'll add them to here. And unique ways that to use it in the classroom with kids, or just to empower teachers to kind of motivate us back up. So that's the piece about kind of staying on the trail, staying focused. Those are more teacher focused, getting yourself, we can do this, we can make it, we need to stay and keep going despite all the junk that's out there. And I'm going to close with this piece. This is the poem, Two Roads Diverge in a Yellow Wood. It is a beautiful little poem. It's a neat way to kind of get your head together. I've oftentimes given this to kiddos, and we dissected it. I've had a student once put a rap to it and unique things. So I'm kind of, unfortunately, kind of geeky about that. There is also a discussion board in here for you. And once you get the username and password for this course, I want you to feel free to come in here and share. So if you've got some ideas that I have not even touched on, I beg you to please come in here, either share them with me in an email, or go ahead and just start a thread and go for it. And I've always put these in here because they're fun. If you've never done letterboxing or geocaching, it's fun. Geocaching would be the 21st century form of letterboxing. My sister and I do letterboxing a lot with our families wherever we travel, and it's letterboxing.com, I believe. I don't want to give you a funny site. Letterboxing.org. Oh, I'm glad I checked. Letterboxing.org. Fun, neat way to get your class involved in it, get your own family involved in it. I'm all about, keeping ourselves healthy on the family front. So I'm going to be quiet and head on back and hand over, get out of this and stop sharing and get on back to that one slide at the very end. This is how you're going to find us. www.clayschools.net, and your username is going to be all capitals, FETC. Your password is going to be all capitals, FETC. It's a tricky one. Please feel free to come in and share with us, talk with us, use this stuff, comment, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We love that. We don't only make stronger and better. And I think back here at the beginning, let me go back, because I think our email addresses, no, they weren't. I'll give you both Ruth's and I's, and we're pretty easy. Ruth is R Paine, P-A-I-N-E, at oneclay.net. Ruth, can you type it in at the bottom? R Paine at one.
I'm doing that.
Thanks. At oneclay.net, and then I am L Shriver, and it's S-C-H-R-I-V-E-R at oneclay.net. Guys, I beg you, we'd love to hear from you. We're just like you. We're a K-12 county that's kind of trudging through and using Blackboard as creatively and as uniquely as we can to kind of keep ahead of those, or keep up on the heels of those kiddos that are ahead of us. So I will be quiet, and for the last minute, answer any questions that you might have in the bar and hand it over to Katie.
Great. Thank you so much, Linda and Ruth. And first, I just want to say I can't tell you the number of messages that we're getting just to all panelists, and even private messages from participants to myself, compliments on how engaging your presentation is and how many great ideas. So just overwhelmingly positive feedback on the presentation. So first, I want to thank you for a great presentation today. And thank you for sharing your email addresses. I didn't want to put those out there unless you were willing to share them with the whole group. So thank you for doing that. I definitely want to spend, I know we're right at 4:30, but anyone that has time to stay, if you have questions, we'll come to those in just a minute. We have a couple slides we want to close with, and then we want to open for any additional questions. Colleen, would you want to speak to BB World?
Sure, yeah. So hi, everybody. I know some of you may have already received this registration announcement, but I just wanted to take this as an opportunity to let everybody know that BB World registration is now open, and you can go to bbworld.com to get some more information about this year's events and register. We've been working really hard to make sure that we're providing our K-12 attendees with a unique experience. So expect sessions and workshops and keynotes that have been designed specifically for K-12 that really focus on new strategies and pedagogy that are intended to help address critical issues in K-12 today. So bbworld.com to learn more, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Great. Thank you so much. And as always, again, like I said, we'll open it up for questions in a minute for those who have additional time, but wanted to thank everyone for participating in today's session of the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. Again, I encourage you to reach out to me with new ideas for topics and letting me know if you're interested in presenting in the future. Shoot me an email. You will receive this recording and presentation slides. We'll also be sure to add in the links that we shared in the chat, particularly that to the video that Ruth and Linda were sharing. You'll also receive an invitation to participate in an online PLC, so be sure to accept that invitation so that you can join the PLC. All the recordings for each session in the series will be posted there. So be sure to join us next time, which is the next 2 Mondays, actually, next week with IDLA. So at this point, please post any additional questions you have in the chat or the Q&A. Linda, Ruth, do you have a couple minutes to stay for any additional questions?
We sure do. No problem.
Great.
Guys, I do want to thank you all so much. I'm telling you, it has been fun. It's great to be able to just kind of connect like this from all over. I thank you, Katie, for understanding. It was the crazy weekend of the holidays, and she was so sweet about us getting our slides to you. So thank you for your patience with us.
Oh, no worries at all. Thank you for sharing your expertise and all these great ideas with everyone. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Not seeing questions right now, just lots of positive feedback. So great job with the session, and thanks for all the ideas. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of participants within your course that you've shared. Thank you so much.
Good, thanks.
Thank you, everyone, for joining, and have a great Monday. Have a great week.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, everyone.